Welcome to part 8 of our safety laser scanner training. In this part we will learn how to configure the RSL 400. Well, first I would like to explain a little bit about the software structure of the RSL 400. It consists of two software parts which are called Field Device Tool and Device Type Manager. So these are standardized tools from the, let's say, from the software market. The way how this translates into our Leuze world is that we use Sensor Studio as the field device tool. You also can consider this like the framework where the software is running. And we use Safety Device Collection as the device type manager. So this is the additional tool we have to load into the framework to actually operate our RSL 400. Both software are available for download on our homepage. They are listed under the downloads for each RSL, and you do see here setup of Sensor Studio and setup of Safety Device Collection. So as I said, both parts must be downloaded to configure an RSL 400. Well, let's take a look how this works with the Sensor Studio software now. So I will open Sensor Studio software on my PC. And the first question which is asked by the software is whether I would like to connect online to a device or whether I would like to work in the offline mode. So I will start with the offline mode, because the beauty of the offline mode, can be done by anybody. So also a customer could do the basic configuration in his office before downloading the configuration to an RSL 400. And it also allows you, if you do not have a device available, to learn and train about all the settings, and also to display or present the software and the capabilities to our customers if you do not have an RSL 400 on hand. So here are the parts of the Safety Device Collection. It's only two elements. The most important, the RSL 400. I select this. Press next, and now the Sensor Studio software is opening. And as soon as I start to work with the software, so in this case we will start with the configuration, you will see this selection window. And what we see below here is a list of all RSL 400 models we have available in our portfolio. So this means whatever kind of product I would like to program or to simulate, I can select it here from this list. In our case, we will work with our demo unit, so I will select here the demo unit as an example. And the first thing to start with, we see automatically here on this page, and we also do see a next button down here. I will press this for a second just to show how it works, because we have organized the setup of the product in 5 different steps. You will see this here going from the top to the down, and by pressing the next, when I start here with configuration and administration, the software automatically will guide me through the most important safety settings, safety related settings. So if I follow this process with the next button, I'm sure that I'm not overlooking any of the safety related parameters which needs to be set. The first page, administration, this is mainly to add additional information as a kind of notes to your configuration. So for example, it says here the name of configuration. I'll say I do this for demo. I can give it some specific application. I could here type how to configure what we are doing right now. responsible person, so my name is Jörg, I did it. And in a real environment, for example, you could add information about the machine the RSL is working at. Well, so I entered here what I feel important, then I press the next button. And again, you see here a list of configuration items. And you also do see now some of them are looking up in yellow. So the first thing I have to decide about is which operating mode to use. And now you see a list of all the ones being available. We mentioned before the demo unit is our high-end I/O unit. So all the different modes, the ones with the 2 protection functions, the many field pairs, or even the ones where I can operate with 4 field sets, everything is available here with this unit. So I will pick the 2 protective functions as an example. And what you see now, there is a frame around this yellow item, and I do see here that I changed something. What is important before I can get to the next page, you see now nothing is happening, I do need to confirm the settings I'm doing on this page. And now you see the frame is disappearing, but I still see that I did do a selection here of a setting on this page. So this confirm process is necessary from a safety perspective to make sure that the user who is doing the configuration really knows exactly what kind of items he is configuring and looking at, so that he cannot do any mistakes. And because we do all this confirmation here while we are configuring, at the end we just can download everything within one step to the product, and we do not need additional validation processes. So there are some more detailed information for a basic setup. They are not important here. I will go to the next page already. Also here, functions related to the safety part. So here we would say whether we would like to work just with a one fixed field pair, or whether I would like to use field pair switching by the signal inputs. We also learned this in the technology session, how this works. In this case, I just will go with one field pair. And the next page here in this row now contains a lot of safety related settings. The most important here, the safety resolution. We learned 70 mm is the commonly used resolution to detect a human leg. So I will not do any modification here. Other important setting, the response time. We learned lowest value starts at 80 milliseconds, 2 rotations. And for practical operation, we suggested to use values like 160 or 200 millimeters. Again, I changed something here, have to press confirm. Startup behavior. This means whether the unit should work with automatic start restart or with manual start restart. For any configuration we would use for demo, we suggest to work with automatic restart, because this means you put your hand in, what we have seen in the demo part. LEDs are turning red, I took my hand out again, automatic restart, and then we will see the green lights. And again, I do confirm my setting. Well, next page, we do have the units here where in practice we can configure the outputs. Here with the demo unit configuration, there is no specific impact on this because it's not connected to anything, let's say, but this is the page where the customer can set additional information to be forwarded to the PLC. This can be about internal settings of the product. This also can be about violations of protective field or warning fields. A lot of options are available here. Well, and finally, we get to the point where we do configure the safety fields. What we do see on the first page is the maximum we potentially could do. You see here it's an RSL with an 8.25 meters of operating range. So we do see here a circle with 8.25 radius. To start with a new configuration, suggest to first delete what we have and start with a new one. And the elements which are important for drawing fields, they are all up here on the top. In the PowerPoint I started, which is also available for you, you will find an overview of all the items which are important. So these two ones, they are the selection whether I would like to edit the protective field or the warning field. And then I have to select how to draw the field. Here you see different options, whether I would like to define it with a polygon, which means setting individual points, or whether I want to do an elliptical or a rectangular field. So in this case we will start with the points, and now I just go here where I would like to draw my field, press my mouse button, and every press of the button I do configure here, let's go down here, I do configure a new edge point of my field. Just do it here as an example. So I could draw the safety field like this. If now I would like to draw an additional warning field in front of this, I go here, change to the warning field configuration. I'm still in the same setup mode here to do it with individual points, and I just do the same thing again. Now I start on this side, I say okay, warning field a little bigger, maybe here, and then I do draw a warning field, for example here in front of a safety field. In this case you see how we are switching among what of the two fields, or which of the two fields are viewed in the front. There may be cases where the RSL is installed in a different way. For example, like a top-down installation, or it's kind of in a way that the unit is facing myself. Therefore, in the setting area, we have the capability to select how this field editor, what we are just working with, should be displayed. So right now we have the standard, which means the unit is looking up. If I select down here, go back to configuration and our fields, you see now that the unit is looking here from the top to the bottom, and depending on how the unit is installed and what is easier for me to do the configuration, to imagine or visualize the viewing direction of the RSL, I can use this mode here. Another example, I mentioned top-down installations, what we sometimes see on AGVs. I select upside down and again go back here and show what is the impact. Now you see that the unit, I'll zoom in a little bit here, is actually viewed from below. And what we can see as well, if you look into more detail, is that now we have changed the plus and minus indication because the unit is viewed top down. So go back to the standard, normal view, and now I do see the same thing again. As said, all the coordinates are relative to how the RSL views its environment. Okay, just that we see some of the options. Also, what may be helpful, if we know the unit is not mounted at a corner but just in front of a machine, and I know that I would like to draw a field view not more than 180 degrees, I also can use this option here. and will show you the impact of this. Again, going back, I'm going to delete this field and show you the option to draw a rectangular field, because now you see automatically I can't go here behind 180 degrees, but now it's very easy here to exactly define the size of a rectangular field. If this is my starting configuration, but I would like to modify the edge points, for example, for a little bit, there are options now to edit the field. These are the green ones. So I could select the first one, which is called I want to move one of those endpoints. I select this, click on it, move it to a different position, or I also say I would like to add another point here, for example like this, and then I can use this additional point, for example here, to draw a new shape for the field. I would suggest take a look at the different options here. You also will see it on the PowerPoint what is available, but there are many convenient functions which help our customers here to draw the safety field configurations. Well, this is the basic setup. I will go back here to the regular view of the configuration. So, now the question could be, okay, I have set up one of these safety fields. If I would like to configure a second field, remember that we have been talking about field pair switching. How would I do this? And if I click here with the right side of my mouse onto these elements, I do see more details. I get back to the details, and now you see here also the option to add a field pair. So by pressing add field pair, the software will ask me, okay, which one do I like to add? I just take the next one, 1.2, add, and now you see that beside the first pair 1.1, there's a second pair 1.2. So if I open this new field, again, I first see my default value, go back, say, okay, rectangular field, this time a little smaller. So this is my safety field here of the second configuration, the second pair. Now if I would like to compare the two, of course I can do like this, switch back and forth. But if I would like to show both of them at the same time, here you see these little check boxes. So every checkbox which is activated shows the field now at the same time. Of course, the one I'm working with is the red one, but I also do see the shapes of the other fields at the same time. So this is just another helpful tool for drawing field pairs. Also, if I, for example, click here, left mouse button inside the field, you see copy a field or even copy a field pair. So you see there are some helpful functions to make life easier when doing this kind of configurations. So once this configuration is done, just let's assume these were the most important features we would like to configure. I need to download this information to the product, and therefore I need to establish a connection to the product now. You see this little arrow up here, which is the symbol for connectivity, and you see here when I press search, the same what we did see when we connected to the unit within our demo environment. I can search for units being connected. I do see my demo unit in this case. So and now a very important point when I start connecting to the unit. I have established the first connection, and now I also need to press here this green one, and the unit will ask me now what to do with the different data, because I have one configuration on my PC, what we just did on the screen, but of course there was also something that happened before on the product. And here you see the meaning of these 3 lines. They always pop up when connecting to an RSL. You'd see we talk about a safety configuration, a diagnostic configuration, and the communication settings. So everything we did right now was related to the safety configuration. In addition, these diagnostic settings, these are things like logging features, event logs, or communication settings, if you have a fixed IP address versus a dynamic IP address, or whether Bluetooth is on or off. These are the settings which are related to communication. And the scanner is able to manage these 3 layers, if you want, individually. Well, what is mentioned on this field now is whether I would like to upload, this is here with this arrow, to upload information from the sensor. You can imagine if I say yes, 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 upload everything, then it will override what I just did on my PC, because I'm loading everything from the scanner inside my PC. In this case, if I would download what we just did to the scanner, I say no, please do not take information from the scanner, just connect. Now you see here the online view, what we had before. And now I'm able here with this little arrow to download information. So when I press this, it will now ask me, okay, do you have the access level which is necessary to download information? Everything we did right now, also in the sessions before, was just looking at it, at the scanner, online information, the observer mode. If I would like to edit configuration, I have to go to the engineer mode. And the password for the RSL, also written in the manual, in this case is safety. So I will enter safety. And now you say, okay, you do have the right to do it. And now you see the arrow in the other direction. Now I can download everything I have on my PC onto the RSL 400. So this is happening right now. Downloading to the sensor, confirmation, everything is okay. And when I go back now here to the connected yet. So here we do see the arrow now going in the other direction for downloading the configuration to the RSL 400. Press OK, confirms what we are doing. Downloading the parameters to the sensor, and then we will see the new configuration becoming active here in our display and also in the process overview. See now the much larger field we have been defining. So this is the way how to do a configuration of a product. For the customer, it might be also important to save his configuration. Therefore, we have a very good working documentation tool. You see here I can create a PDF file of our safety configuration. Demo, I download this to my desktop. And what we do see here now is the complete content. It includes all the information we have configured before, including the serial information. Remember what we did at the beginning when I said administration. Also our CRC code is part of the documentation. And there's also a very good representation, I just scroll down here a little bit, about our safety fields we have configured in a graphical way, and depending on how many fields we have available in our configuration, we do see this here in our PDF documentation as well. So that's also a helpful tool, and I think also worth to show to our customers when we do a demonstration with the software. So these are the most important parts about configuration. Of course, there are more details how to do settings and so on. Therefore, I would like to go quickly back here for a second to the PowerPoint. Here you are able to get some more information in detail. You see the overview of the different ways of how to do fields, how to modify fields, and here copy field pairs, showing all of them at the same time. So the many things we talked about in our presentation today. So if you want to get more details, here you see the PDF example. Just take a look at the PowerPoint to achieve more information about configuration in detail.